What do you mean you eat dinner at 10? That's not normal. Or is it? Have you ever asked yourself a question, what is normal?
What is normal?
If you're new here, hi, I'm Magda. I was born and raised in Poland. Tak, mówię perfekcyjnie po polsku, albo prawie perfekcyjnie. I spent 10 years in Ireland, and that's where I learned English. I can still do a little bit of an Irish accent, but I don't think you want to hear that. Now I live in Spain for over 13 years. Sí, hablo bastante bien español. Mejor dicho, hablo andaluz. I thought moving abroad would teach me new languages, new food, new traditions, and it did. It did teach me that. But the biggest surprise wasn't learning about the other countries. It was realizing how much what I thought it was my personality, it was actually my culture. The first 18 years of my life shaped the way I think, the way I spend money, the way I work, even what I thought it was normal. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the things that I have learned and liked less in each country that I lived in for the past 20 years. Let's start with Poland. Consistency. I still remember up until today the way my mom would teach me to put something back in the place just in front of the door so that I don't forget about it. And I learned that since I was probably like 2 or 3 years old. And that shaped my life. Savings. Saving was a huge part of my home. My parents saved, they talked about saving, they talked about money a lot generally, but savings was something that was on a daily basis. We would, be taught how to do it, and we would be shown how to do it at home. So this was something that I've seen throughout my life. My parents bought their house, I think, and built their house with no mortgage, taking shoes off at home. It's something very funny, but it's just, we've always done it. Imagine those winters with the snow and coming into your house in shoes with all this dirt and water. No, you take your shoes off. That's it. It's always been the way, and I still don't specifically like to walk in to other people's houses in the shoes because I just don't think it's very clean. Eating early. Yes, I still eat early. I live in Spain and people eat at 9 or 10 or 11. But I just can't eat big dinners at nighttime. That's something that I haven't done and I don't specifically like to do. I guess my body is used to it. Perhaps for those people that have lived here for a very long time in Spain, they're used to it, but in Poland we've always ate early and repairing instead of replacing. So yes, in Poland, at my home, we always try to repair it rather than buy it a new one. So something that I have seen happening at home, my mom, my father would let's try to repair it, let's try to do this, rather than, okay, let's just go and buy it, a new one, let's spend the money. So that's something that I've seen in my home. Perhaps it's not necessarily just Poland, but I have learned that in Poland since I was a child, so that just stuck with me. Being afraid of a cold. Yes. In Spain even, I am the same. I am cold quite often, and my husband is Spanish and he's just go for walks and he can take a jacket off without problem. Sometimes I put it on me. In bed is the same thing. I am covered even though it's quite hot outside, but I'm still quite cold at times. Of course, when there is 30 or 40 degrees at night, it's not the case, but I still like to have my duvet on. Creating home space. In Poland, we live a lot in the house, so we like to create pretty space so that we're comfortable. It's something that I have seen in Spain not happening, and in Poland this was pretty normal due to the weather conditions, because you don't really live outside, you live inside more so due to the cold weather and so on and so forth. So you naturally would make and create your home as pretty as possible so that when you are around things, you feel comfortable. I'm incredibly lucky that I have been raised and born in Poland because I have learned so many amazing things in Poland. But growing up in Poland left me with another habit. I am a little bit of a control freak. I think maybe more than a little bit. It's not exactly something that I'm proud of, but after years of therapy, and conversations with my closest friends. I understood where it comes from. Growing up in Poland, you learn to be prepared. And I mean prepared, right? It's a cold country, so historically you couldn't take things for granted. You had to think ahead, and I mean ahead. Prepared your food for winter, pick up mushrooms during an autumn, prepare it so you have it in your jars. You prepared for what might happen. And I think some of that mentality stayed with me. I'm often one step ahead, prepared for things that haven't even happened yet, but I'm just thinking there. My husband is just like, oh my God, please, leave me alone. If something seems too easy, my little something there inside of me say, what's the catch? There has to be something. It's just like this little negativity there. It's there. Honestly, I don't seem to see this in Spain or Ireland. I haven't before. It is definitely Eastern Europe style. But looking at Poland's history, it actually makes sense. It's fascinating how much of that survival mindset, it stays with me for such a long time, even when I actually don't need it anymore. So that's Poland. Let's fly now to Ireland. Ireland. So I lived in Ireland for 10 years in my late teens and 20s. I even was married to an Irish lad, as they say it there. So what I have noticed is people are super friendly. I think I haven't even at that time learned enough and realized, so I should have, because really it was nice. People are super friendly in Ireland. English. I know, in Ireland they can speak fast and the English is quite complex. But I feel if you go to the places with the strongest accent, you will learn the better one. It's just the way. It's much better for you because then you can speak with anybody you want, no matter what. If you can speak and understand an Irish or Scottish, you can speak English with anybody. Job opportunities. Dublin had their biggest headquarters, such as Google, in the city, so the job opportunities were always there. Hello, how are you? I think this is the biggest for me. Hello, how are you? In Ireland, everyone, if you go into the shop, if you go anywhere, they will ask, how are you? No matter who you are. And that was lovely. I don't think I have ever appreciated enough. Of course, there were things that I liked less, such as the weather or the drinking, culture, or eating in the chipper after a night out. But I have learned so much in Ireland, and it made me who I am today. So Ireland will always have a big heart in my heart. Spain. Let's talk about Spain. My dream. Speak Spanish. Yes, sí, por favor. It was always a dream for me to come to Spain and live in Spain and explore this slow living. And what did I learn here? And in fact, why? Slow mornings. Slow mornings is something that I think you appreciate quite a lot here. You wake up, you go for a little breakfast, and you enjoy that breakfast, you enjoy that coffee. This is something that I am not used to up until today, although I have days where I actually do that. Having a child, now of course it's a routine-based exercise. However, when I have my moment and my son is in his little cot, I am grabbing my coffee and having a little bit of that time. Even watching him is just something that I really appreciate every single day. Long lunches, so the locals here called it sobremesa. It's just a time that you eat and then you talk and you enjoy it and you have a laugh, and it's just amazing. And you just don't stop and you just keep enjoying it, and it's nice. Cafes. Coffee. You just have a coffee here and there, decaf coffee, this coffee, that coffee. It's just like coffee. Just in case you have a moment, you just grab a coffee. Life happening outdoors. People leave the house as soon as they can. So people live outdoors, they don't live at home. That's why the houses in here, the apartments in here perhaps aren't as looked after, because people live outdoors and they love it, and because of the sun, because of whatever. at night, in the morning, you see people on the streets, not rushing all the time. I think that's huge. You can feel the tranquility here. So people take their time here. They really do. And you can feel that, you can see it by their behaviors, that they are calm. Yes, I will get to do that. You know, I would do it. Sometimes it is very nice, other times it might not be because you might never get to your goals, but I think it's nice. Siesta break. So businesses here are still working in the morning and in the afternoon. And they have like a 2 or 3 hours break in between. People are just normally go for lunch and then they stay maybe for a little bit with the rest, with the family, and then they come back to work. Summer hour. During the summer, most businesses, not all of them, but most businesses would close in the afternoon. So they wouldn't work because it's too hot. That's so funny. In Poland, no matter the weather condition, you just go. You go to school if there is a minus 20 degrees. And in here, you just don't because, I mean, the aircon exists, but why not just go to the beach in the afternoon? Of course, it's a better choice. But you also have things which I don't like. So people coming in to the hospital after you give birth to a child and without asking. And it's normal here that they do it because they want to celebrate with you, but I mean, it's very personal for everybody. And I understand the tradition is that, but it doesn't mean it's okay. I mean, how normal is that? Eating at 10 o'clock. This is something that I still cannot get used to it. However, there are friends that also might prefer to eat later. So we just go with that and we eat with them at the time that, you know, that is needed. It's obviously not something that we would do very often because of our diet, because of exercise and everything that we have currently achieving. But yeah, you do that with friends that like to eat late. People are loud. Yes, people can be very loud here.
It's a little loud.
It's something that I got used to it. Sometimes it might bother me, but I just go with the flow. So I'm asking you and I'm asking myself, what is normal? And why are we limiting our beliefs onto things that might be actually closing the doors for us? Closing the door. Even the other day, somebody said to me something like, because you're in Poland, so you do this that way. Where in fact, there's a lot of people living abroad that they don't really relate to their culture or behavior anymore. So I'm curious, what do you think about the normal?
Mr. Holland, what is normal?
Have you ever wondered what is really normal? Thanks for watching and until the next time. Bye!
I could swim.